Hello and welcome to DJL Exotics. I'm David and this is the newest member of the DJL Exotics corn snake family. It doesn't have a name yet, but it's one that we bred this year from Gumball and Flora. This little male is going to be joining our breeding program. We are going to do how to set up your first corn snake enclosure for a little hatchling like this in today's video. But before we get started, a couple of housekeeping. Number one, it's not really going to be applicable to this one because he's going to spend a lot of time in his enclosure while we do the video, but we are animal led, so if he doesn't like the video he won't be in it much, which he won't be anyway. And secondly, please remember to like, share and comment on the video, but also subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much and let's get into it. So first let's talk about why we actually decided to keep this individual. Number one, it is packed full of genes. Now you can tell it is a snow stripe tessera, which essentially means that he's got quite a lot of genes that he can pass on to the other females. We're going to probably pair him with Twinkle and Shelby, both who have got both the anery and amyl gene in them in different quantities. Shelby's got, they're both opposites. Twinkle has got the amyl and het anery, and Shelby is anery het amyl. We're not sure about whether or not Shelby has got stripes. We didn't see any stripes this year, but as Gumball is only het stripe and we only got a couple of babies out of Shelby on her first season. You notice that she got misgendered when she was brought in. Someone said she was male and she wasn't, she was female. But we're not quite sure yet on that one, but we do know that she is a snow, because one of the babies that hatched out was snow, so she has got the amyl in her. Twinkle, there'll be a lot more variety, so there will be some, I think they will all be at least amyl actually, so there'll be, again it'll be the opposite, so there'll be some amyls and some snows, thinking about it. Also because this is Flora, she's perfect to go with them because there's no genetic combination between them. So they're all different genetics from different breeders. This is the only one that we've bred that will be in the breeding program. Unlike with our leopard geckos, where about 80% of the leopard geckos involved in the program were actually bred here now, which is really exciting. But with corn snakes, because they grow so long and they can breed for a lot longer, it's less likely that we're going to have as many bred here part of the program. So this one's very important. Doesn't have a name yet, but we will obviously find a name for it. If you've got any suggestions, feel free to make a comment below. But let's get on with building this guy's first enclosure here. So like we discussed in one of our videos, which you can see up here, the size of the enclosure is very important for snakes. They need to be about, one side needs to be about the length of the snake, or kind of diagonal is what we kind of prefer, because it can be the length, two sides, so the longest and the shortest length can be the length of the snake. And you're talking about snout to vent, so the little tail doesn't really count. We like to make it about the diagonal because we find that's about the right size for the snake to actually feel comfortable and eat. So for our little snow male, we are going for the 9 litre really useful box. Now I've already started the process. You can see I've already drilled holes there and down here. Now the reason why I've got them kind of in that kind of format, and on the other side they've actually swapped around, so it's down below over here, so here's the top and here down here, and on the other side I've got them up here and down there. The reason for that is to allow for air circulation, so it can continuously rotate like that, which allows fresh air to continuously be used inside the enclosure. Now the next thing that you're going to need is some paper towel. Though you can use aspirin if you would like. I always recommend when you're starting out with a snake to use paper towel for the first few weeks. With our corn snakes, we put them all on paper towel, apart from those which are in the experience area, which are like Gumball, who is on the aspirin. The next thing you're going to need is some cleaner, because you should always clean down your equipment and enclosure before you get started. You also need a water bowl, some decorations like plastic plants, maybe some wood, and 2 hides. Now, I don't recommend using a mist box to start with these guys, they don't tend to need them. I would only really use it as they get older and they get bigger. These, I've never had a problem with shedding, and most of the time if they do need help shedding, they will actually curl up inside their water bowl, and that makes for perfect kind of shedding aid for them. So that's what I'm not recommending that on these guys, though it is possible, and for those who would like one, it's perfectly acceptable. We can detail how that can go in later. So what you need to start with is actually wiping down this. Now to start with, get a baby wipe. I always recommend baby wipes, they're so useful in reptile keeping. And just give your box a nice clean, like this. Now the reason why we're doing this is because the F10 isn't very good at picking up the dirt and debris. You actually need to kind of get all that dirt, debris, any dust or any kind of soil if you've had a previous reptile in there. Say this isn't your first corn snake and it's your second one, the first one's moved into the 4 foot and now you want to get a second one. Really useful just to use a baby wipe just to get up any debris that might be there. And it does actually say this on the F10, it does actually say to get up all the debris before you start cleaning. Put that in there, then you get your F10, make sure it's turned on, just give a couple of sprays, it's not coming out because, there we go, a couple of sprays in there, that was really hard to do. Get a piece of paper towel and then wipe round, make sure you get all the cracks in, all the crevices, all the way around, like that. I love the smell of the F10, it makes it smell really nice. Just kind of go around like that. And this can be used for baby geckos as well, though you can just go straight into a 4 foot with geckos and things like that. But you can use it for other snakes or other geckos, things like that, that you want to put into a small little box. You can also, you know, this could be translated into a viv really. You're just replacing this with a viv. The one thing I would say with a viv is that you can't pick it up like this, move it around. You actually have to be sat in position. I'm just sat here because this is how I do the videos. Normally I'd be standing up. Right, so put that in the bin. Then I would get another piece, which you wipe down, and then just dry it down, make sure it's all nice and dry. And this is also how you should do the cleans. It's almost like you've got the snake in, just put them inside a kind of holding box, like we've got here. We've got a little one in the holding box just on the side there, just having a bit of a climb around. Just dry it down. Once you're comfortable with it all dry, you can then put in the substrate. So, going back to the paper towel still, I'm just going to put 2 paper towels in, like that. Then I'm just going to roll up my sleeves. You're going to put in your 2 hides. Now you want one of these at one side and one at the other side, and that because that creates the thermal regulation. So on one half of the enclosure, or 1/3 of the enclosure, you're going to have the heat mat underneath. So we're going to put the hide there. I'm going to put the other hide down here, so it looks like that. Can you see the 2 hides? Fantastic. Now you're going to put in the water. So using a simple bowl. Now you want a water bowl that they can actually fit into, because again, as I've mentioned earlier, it's all about the helping them with the shedding. So you put that in, and I put that in on the cold side, as far into the cold side as possible. So now it looks like this. This is obviously the hot side, this is the cold side. And then you can put in your decorations. So I've got some lovely decorations. These are fake leaves here. I actually find that they're actually craft leaves. You can get them from Baker Ross or the Works, things like that. They don't cost that much. They do make kind of like a nice little bit of leaf litter, which the corn snakes enjoy. Get some plastic plants. These again don't cost very much. Now these aren't entire plastic plants. I've actually cut them off. You can see that I've cut them off here because it's just for baby snakes. It doesn't need to be too long. So I'm going to put that along the edge there, that one. And then I'm going to decorate this here. Put it maybe around the water bowl like that. And then I've got a little bit of wood here. Now this helps again with the humidity, with the shedding process. They can rub against this and it helps break the first break of the skin that they can then just slide off. It really does help with that. It's also quite a nice sensation. One of these can actually be a quite good hiding for the baby corn snake, because you can actually get underneath and hide there. And it's also, or if you think your corn snake has escaped, please remember to look under everything, because they can get into the smaller spaces. Really, these 9 litres are fairly escape proof. As long as you keep them locked down, the snakes really can't get out. As long as the lid is secure. Always check the lid. I have had one box which came with the wrong lid on it, and could shift. It was only slightly off. It was off by a few millimeters, but that was enough for a snake to be able to get out. So don't do that. Always check the lid and make sure it doesn't slide on and off. It's nice and secure, and quite literally just put that down. So let's have a quick look at the enclosure. So this is a finished design. You can see we've got the plastic plants here going around the water bowl. We've got the cold hide, the warm hide, a little bit of wood there, and some of the plants here. This creates a nice little bit of enrichment. He can smell the plants, go underneath there. You can go on here. You can entwine them along there. So let's put them in. So now that we've had a quick look at the enclosure, how it's all finished, we're just going to put the water in. And now it's time to put in the snake. So here we go. Here he is, and we're just going to put him in and we'll see how he's doing. And that is how you create the baby corn snake, or you could put in other species like Kenyan sandboa, and we've got a care video about Kenyan sandboas you can watch up here. Very, very similar, apart from I wouldn't use paper towel for them. I would just go straight to aspen because they like to bury. Or you can use sand soil as well. The other options you've got are raw pythons, though you probably need a slightly bigger box. We use slightly bigger boxes, slightly bigger hides for them. Garter snakes can be probably kept like this, and you've got several options. Hognoses, this is perfect, kind of exactly the same kind of design, but they come from similar kind of environments. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you've learnt something. Please remember to like, share and comment on the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next video.